everyone, to Fudge 3004 here. I am in Empyrion Galactic Survival. This is a game in early access. It's on Steam. It has been in early access for quite a while. It is a space game similar to Osiris and Space Engineers. You crash land on a planet and you have to figure your way around and figure out what happened and try to get to the bottom of whatever it was that caused you to crash here. Now there's going to be a lot of stuff on screen when we start this, so just so that you guys know, you may want to pause the video from time to time to see what is being said. So let's go ahead and with the options are all here. There's video, audio, controls, and miscellaneous for all kinds of other stuff. That's the cheating right there. You can have servers and all that stuff on here. I did turn the sound down quite a ways, so that way I can still be heard over all of the sounds going on. There's multiplayer player setup. You can make yourself male or female as far as I know. I always choose the female, as I'm sure that you guys are well aware. And then you can set up however you want to on your suit and all that stuff for the different colors. I'm just going to go and stick with that one. I think that looks really good. So let's go and go to a new game. Now every time that you start up a new game, it's going to be a different location. So I have never seen this planet before. I have been on several others, but not this one. So it used to be you always started on Akua, and there are difficulty settings that you can choose, so you can do all of this kind of stuff, set everything how you want to. It is similar to Osiris in that aspect, in that you can just change everything to whatever you want to. So I'm not gonna drone base attack. Let's go ahead and make that into easy, because when we start it's gonna be a lot harder. We can always set this later on after we get ourselves going. So let's see, what all is here. Okay, we can actually set these things to, you know, whatever. Basically because we don't have very many weapons to start with, that's why I'm turning that one down low. And then, all these amounts of ore per deposit, number of deposits, all that kind of stuff, that's all here. So you guys can set it to however you want to. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a new name, and let's do this, of course. Okay, so this is going to be our world of Fudge, of course. So we got that set, and now we can, of course, have a different seed, so it'll spawn in a different world, but I'm not really too worried about that right now. Survival is the only thing that we have in here, as far as I know. I think you can change it, but I'm not sure. And once we get started, then I will show you guys a game, and away we go. Okay, so we have just started, and you always start in your pod that you're crash landing on, wherever it is that you are. So this is always the way the game starts, so we're gonna make a hard crash landing, and it's probably gonna be fairly loud, but use your WASD keys to go up or down, and use your mouse to look around. Down is pull down, up as far up as you can go is pushing up with your mouse, and then A and D will turn you left and right, and loud. Welcome everyone to Empyrion Galactic Survival. You guys can go ahead and read all of this stuff if you want to. You can pause the video here and check all this stuff out. So this is their whole thing that they were saying before they crashed, and everything that happened and when you woke up and all that stuff. So good luck, Sergeant. So apparently we are a sergeant, so let's go ahead and let's do all of this protocol. So now you guys can read everything down here. The hard touchdown with the escape pod looks pretty much intact. Just check its inventory and pick up everything that is inside. There's a limited time to read the stuff on the screen. I may not get around to reading everything, just so you guys know, so you may want to pause the video from time to time. When this game was, before this last update, 8.1.1, they this used to disappear. So whenever you went into here and took your stuff out, you had a limited amount of time to take stuff out. Now you can shift click stuff in or out. Shift right click, left click, sorry. Or you can, if you right click, you'll drink it. Shift right click, you'll drink it. Or you can also just drag it down or put it into your bar as well. So the only thing in there was water. Or you can also take things out with this arrow button right up here. And that's pretty much the ways that you can do this. And then F will take you back out. Okay, check your suit inventory tab for helpful ingredients. You can also use the built-in survival constructor to help create helpful tools. Make good use of the survival tool. It offers a stone drill mode, a deconstruction mode, and a low-power defense mode. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at that right now. Tab, get you into your inventory. And I'm just going to take our survival tool and drag it down into number 1. Now, another thing you can do is you can also just shift left click and it'll put into whatever slot is open next. So there's like many ways to get around a lot of these things, and then click on the number that it is on that you put it on. And let's start looking around to see what we can find. Now we can sleep in here whenever we get cold or tired or whatever, or through the night or whatever. So shift left F click. You're not wearing any protective suit. Outside temperatures will have a strong effect on you. Remember, at night you can sleep 8 hours in the escape pod or in a survival tent, for example, when night is getting cold. Personal log files restored. Open your PDA to read your personal log files to learn about what happened before the crash. So that would be F1. So that's all of this stuff here. There's a lot of stuff to read. First, click on the headline that says personal log file in the list on the left. Next, wait for these messages to vanish. Then click on PDA info button in the upper right screen to show the contained info of the mission description. Note, the button PDA log will display the log of whatever that was that I said. So you can see this PDA log, PDA info. There's a bunch of stuff here at the top, so let's go over this real quick. This is your player. This is your inventory right here. You can drop stuff or trash stuff depending what you want to do. Health, food, stamina, oxygen, which is all these right down here. And it's also up here when you go into tab, body temperature, body radiation, your level, how many points it's going to take to get to the next level, 37% there. Available unlock points, 0. Create some energy bars and bandages, and also craft a survival tool. That's basically what that is saying to us. Armor stats, the name, interior suit, armor value 0, durability 0, comfort zone, and radiation protection. That's that. This is tech trees. This is all the stuff that we can build, and there's lots of different things into here. We'll get into here after a little bit. Factions, PDA, which is where we just went to. Blueprints of things that you can make, and you just can load them in and do whatever. You can also go into Steam, go under the store and get a whole bunch of blueprints from there if you wish to as well. Registry, I'm not exactly too sure what that is. There is a map of where we are, and there's a small wreckage there, and our escape pod right here, and a wreckage over there that we need to go to. Now, this is our planet that we're on, so it looks like we can go pretty much anywhere on here. It used to be they had fences and stuff up, but it looks like they took that stuff out. And then a sector map of where we are in the universe right now. So you can see this is our little corner of the galaxy, and Flammer's asteroid field. Okay, so we can eventually go there. This game is very similar, like I said, to Space Engineers and Osiris, in that you can make ships, you can build whatever you want to, and your own unique designs, if that's what you choose to do. So, that's what I really like about this game. I think it's an amazing game. It has its drawbacks, like every game does, but, you know, that's the way that it is. So, one thing to know with this survival too is right-click, and you will go to defense mode, which is this, and it will use your stamina, which is on the lower left, and it's the run button that right now is going down. And so that's this, and it will damage creatures. Next is our salvage tool, which is what we're going to use on the small wreckage to gain some pieces from it. So we're going to be doing that, and that's this. And then we have our rock drill, which is this right here. Now everything uses stamina, so at least with this tool, and I believe all the other tools too. So remember to not be running all the time because you'll run out of stamina really quickly when you're trying to harvest stuff. As far as gathering ores, these rocks right here are just rocks. So when you have this selected on rock drill, you can see down in the bottom right it says rock drill real rock 4. Now that's just a regular normal rock. There are ores in this game because you have to build a lot of stuff. And so these smaller rocks like these over here, I'm running and I said I don't use stamina, are like these right here. Now this is iron. It says rock resource iron down in the bottom right where it says rock drill and hit point 60. So what you do is have your rock drill ready to go and then just hit it. And after it goes down the 60 points or whatever, then you can go ahead and gather up those ores, and it will not automatically gather them. You have to gather them yourself. That is iron. There's also copper, and there is silicon as far as all that stuff goes. I didn't mean to click on that like I did, but I did. So these things used to be called corn dogs. Now they're just plant protein, but it is a corn dog bush. If you see where it says rock drill, it says corn dog bush. So you can destroy it. I would advise not destroying them, let them regrow. So now that we've picked up a little bit of plant protein, let's go back into here and you can see plant protein right there. Now these are our stats as I showed you before, and over here is survival constructor, which is on our person. So we can make a few things, a scant few things, not very many, but a few. So to make this energy bar, which is 2 plant protein, because it says in the green down there, plant protein 2, and the craft time 39.6 seconds. And that's, we need 2 plant proteins. So just click on it and it'll go down here, and then when it's done it'll be up here. Now the regular constructor has a much bigger slot of stuff that can be stored in it and a much bigger inventory. This is just a little bit of stuff that we can do, and we can open up more stuff here pretty soon. We can also get a much bigger constructor, and we can eat this food, and we can do all kinds of stuff. We have to because that's the way the game is played. So I'm going to gather some more iron here real quick. And you can actually get that stuff from ways away. Now, real quick, I didn't talk about it for a second because I kind of actually forgot. So when you go up to something, you will notice that the reticule right there on that tree looks like a square when you can pick something up. A yellow square with like the cross on it, the cross pieces that go across it. So that means you can pick something up. So just try to remember that when you guys are playing this game, and if you're interested in playing this game, that you can pick a lot of stuff up. You just have to look at it to see. You can't pick up these, you have to drill those obviously, because that's what we just did. And so we found some iron. There's also copper, as I've said, and I'll show you guys the copper as soon as we can find it. Now over here is a really good bush. This is a berry bush. They believe they used to call kua berry or something like that back before this last update. So, and again, it turns yellow. You can see that yellow right there. If I kind of look at a darker place, then you can see that yellow right there. So just F, and that will pick up the 2 berries. Now, once we have those 2 berries, let's go to tab again. Then you can see that we can make some berry juice. Now, the one problem with a lot of this stuff in here is it has a perish time. So as I'm on the plant protein, perish 22, health 15, food 20, stamina 5. Once we make it into energy bars, it has just a perish time and a food. So you can either do it both ways, but these things will last a lot longer. And these right here have 23, 10, 15, 25. With a body temperature of -1. So this will actually help you to stay cooler when you're hot. And we can make it into berry juice, which is actually really good because it gives us a health of 90 and stamina 25. And this is only health of 10, it's food 15, and stamina 25. So this one is much better right here. So let's go and make one of those. And then we're going to move that to there. And Press tab to get out of that, and let's try to head towards this small wreckage over here. Remember to try to pick up all the stuff that you can. I did pick up some of these plant fibers, and we can make a few things out of those as we go. So, ammo unlimited, yeah, because that runs off of our stamina. And it says that we can make it at any time. I don't really know what we make it out of, but if they say we can make it, then we can make it. So we can make bandages, which is the plant fibers, and 2 plant protein. So right now we only have 1 bandage. Open wound, broken leg, closed fracture, and open fracture is what it will heal. So let's just go ahead and make another bandage. Move that to there. Now these things will take a limited amount of time. Some of them are fast, some of them are slow. These plant fibers, oops, keep on doing that. And I'm just going to scroll to a different one so I don't have anything in my hand, so I don't do that. These plant fibers will not go bad, so you can keep them as long as you want to. Now, I just reached level 2 just by harvesting stuff and also being alive. So, just by doing a few things, I have made it to another level. This is like Ark or Osiris, any of those things where as you go and you do stuff, then you will keep on leveling up. So, I'm going to gather some of these berries, and we're going to go to that small wreckage, and we're going to see what's on that wreckage. Now, you can walk right through these trees. It's like they're not even there, but we can also harvest them with our tool. So, let's look at, I don't want to harvest those trees that we just went through because they are really good trees for the berries and stuff, and they will eventually respawn. So, that's something that we do want to not be doing. Now, this is just a normal tree. This is an American elm, and you can see, you know, it's a fairly large tree. So, if I remember correctly, defense modes used for short-range defense can also harvest wood. And then salvage. Salvaging own and public structures will always return components, just like space engineers. And rock drill, used for mining ores from surface rocks. Drill does not pick up ores automatically. So, let's get this wood right here. Let's go up to this tree, and let's just go and get some wood. It will take a little bit for us to get this wood, but we will get it. And come on, wood. There we go. Now, if we go to our inventory, we can see we have 3 wood logs. Now, we need to make these into planks, but we can't really do that right now. Now, by just doing that little bit of stuff, by leveling up, now we can open up the portable heater and cooler and the portable constructor. We are actually going to be picking this up shortly, and I will show you guys that as soon as we can get that far. So, let's come over here to this small wreckage. Now, one thing to think about in this game is there are lots and lots and lots of enemies in this game. There are creatures that will attack you on sight, and there are ones that will run from you, and there are ones that will not bother you at all until you attack them, if you attack them. So just try to keep that in mind. And every one of these wreckages is going to have a cargo box. So let's look inside and see what's in here. Now, when I look at it, it says on the top in the middle of the screen, press F to access cargo box. This is a POI, point of interest. So in here, there's optical fiber, antibiotic ointment, and steel plate. Let's just go and take all that. Now that steel plate is actually very interesting. Let's use the salvage, and let's try to find something. Down on the bottom right, it says salvage, steel block L, destroyed, hit point 500. So that's 500 points that we have to actually take down to be able to harvest this series of blocks. So I'm not going to harvest these because these things take so long to actually destroy. I think I would much rather find something that's a little bit easier, and then I will show you guys what that is all like, because this is all pretty much, it's kind of a hard block, you might say. Let me see, that one's thin, so that one's only 250. Let's go and do this one, and I'll show you guys what we have. So right now, we have 2 pieces of steel. Let's just go ahead and salvage this one right here. What's that up there? Let's do both. And as you notice, the number's going down. So where it says 250, keep watching those numbers and they drop. Okay, so now we just got 2 pieces of steel from each one of these. So you can see that these things are actually really good for getting resources from. So now we have 5 pieces of steel, so that's going to help us out a lot. Oh, it's still there. Sometimes it may not look like things are there, but they are there, so just kind of be wary of that. So that's our escape pod right there. So I'm going to try to find some copper here real quick, and that's iron because it doesn't have that copper look to it, and I'll show you the copper here as soon as we can find it. And again, all you got to do is go to your rock drill, and even from a little ways away, it'll tell you what it says. Rock resource iron, down on the bottom right. So let's get some more plant fibers. And actually, that was snakeweed harvested. So that was snakeweed, and this is corn dog bush. Even though it is still a corn dog, they don't call it that, and they'll call it plant protein that we get from it. So and this one is the elderberry bush. So now we have a few resources at our disposal that now we can use. So we're going to head towards that wreckage over there, and I am going to see if I can find some copper, and as soon as I do, I will either to that wreckage and or find copper. I will be with you guys then. Here are some enemies for you guys. They're not really enemies, they are creatures. These guys will not attack you. In fact, they will actually run from you. So if we start going up to them, they kind of look like parasaurs, a little bit like from Ark. So we get a little bit closer to them, and they usually go running away. I don't know why they're not running away, but they will not hurt us. They're actually docile. There we go. Now they run away. They will always run away. That's one of the nice things about them, is they will not attack you. Other creatures will, so just so you guys know, be very careful with that. And another thing that I wanted to show you guys too was with the food, once you have it like in your inventory or on in your inventory, you can shift and right click and you'll eat one, and that will take up your food. And then you can also put this stuff on your bar as you want to, and you know, keep that stuff on you, and then you will be able to eat it whenever you need to. This right here is the copper that I was telling you about. Now the iron is blue, this is copper, and it's always red. It has a red speckle. So rock resource copper, that is what this is. So let's gather some. All right, so now we got some copper. So now we can actually be doing a few more things. We can make the survival tent, and we can make the emergency generator. Extracts oxygen from the atmosphere to generate small oxygen bottles. Some of these rocks will actually only be rocks. This is just a normal rock. And so I'm just going to go and gather this up, and I'll show you guys what this looks like. So it looks just like that, and just like Space Engineers, it's just stone. That's all that it is. So if we go into here, you see that we have some crushed stone, and now we can make a little bit more resources, but we really need to get that constructor. So let's find that constructor and continue picking up resources. And we're getting kind of close to that other wreckage that we're going to, so I will be there and gather some more berries here real quick, and as soon as I get to that constructor or that wreckage, I will be with you guys then. So as I was going along from about 480, 500 meters away, this POI popped up. This is a small wreckage. Now this one looks quite a bit different than the other one. There are all kinds of different wrecks around here, and so you can explore each and every one of them, take parts from them, and get yourself a lot of resources that are going to help you out. So let's turn on our light. So right there's our light, and and you guys can see how this one looks. And let's go ahead and go to our tool, and let's see about maybe salvaging a little bit of this so you guys can see. Now this is the round slope thin, 250 hit points. Let's go and take off a piece here. Now before I go taking off a piece, I wanted to kind of make you guys aware of something. So when you are harvesting pieces from these ships, if I were to harvest this piece right here, that is going to fall down and I will not be able to harvest that piece. So before you do, make sure that you look at things to make sure you know what you are getting, because if you do the wrong piece, it's just going to fall down and you will not be able to harvest anything. Harvesting this will not give me that up there. So I need to get that up there first. Then I can gather this piece. So if you don't know if it's hitting or not, and it's just making that sound and not this sound, then you're not hitting it. So just keep that in mind when you guys are playing this game, that you make sure you have that sound of it hitting. So because this one was connected to up there, that's why those ones did not fall. Now this one has 2 cargo containers, so let's go and check out these. Okay, cool. There's a detox kit, which is effective against indigestion, food poisoning, poisonous bite, intoxication, fever attack, and organ failure. Restores around 250 health. Used with left mouse button from the toolbar, or from inventory from shift right mouse button. And here's energy pills and antibiotic pills. So these are actually really good. Okay, good, because we may need this because there may be creatures over at the other place that we're going to have to fight. So we just need to see. That's one. Here's the second one. Ooh, nice. Electronics. That's something that we can make, and we can also find them. And I'm going to take a few more pieces of this out. But before I do, I can always come back to these because these are always going to show up on our map. So you can scroll in and out using your mouse wheel, and you can see where everything is on your map. So do utilize your map. Do utilize everything at your disposal. Remember to eat, so you can put stuff on your bar, and then I believe, okay, left click and you'll eat, and right click doesn't do anything. So if you don't want to be holding anything in your hand, you don't have to. You can just scroll to an empty one, or even press 0 and you'll go to your hand, just like Space Engineers. So let's see what all we have on our inventory. We have quite a few more plant proteins and wood, copper, iron, and some crushed stone, and a few more resources. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple more of these, and try not to pick up like everything that you find, because again, things do have a finite time. So these are really good for health, and these are just basically good for food, and they'll last a long time, longer than this stuff will. So try to make things if you can to actually help yourself out. I'm going to get to that wreckage and hopefully not run into too many bad creatures. And, okay, new resource, silicon deposit. Okay, cool. So now we can get some silicon. And there's also silicon stones on the surface that you can find. They're kind of speckled. And as soon as I see one, I will get that to you guys. And probably in this next episode, I will be showing you guys the mining in the ground, because this episode is already getting fairly long. So we will be doing that. That's just a regular rock. Okay, and you hear that sound right there. That means that a creature is right around here, and let's see if we can find that creature right here. So these guys right here are actually non-hostile. They will not fight you, they will not hurt you, but if you hit them, they will run away from you, as far as I can tell. Anytime, they always have. They used to attack you, I believe, but now they don't. So these are buds, which are actually a really good thing. So let's pick up these buds and go to our inventory and see. Now we can make a hot beverage. Now this thing will not go bad, so that's one of the best things about these. Consumable, used with left mouse button from toolbar, or from inventory with shift right mouse button. Effective against hangover and bad trips. Stamina 26, body temperature +3. So And basically this is going to help us out, plus the buds will go bad fairly quickly. It only does 5 food, but a perish time is 99, and these has no perish time. So remember to always check out the perish time on a lot of the resources you pick up. This over here is spice, and this is something that we need. This is a cobra plant, I believe. So let's go to here, and it doesn't say what it is, all it says is spice. Normally these things will say. So let's go and pick up this spice, and let's look at our inventory and just see what that says. Now, that spice right there, which is effective against frostbite and indigestion, but if you eat it, you're gonna have your health drop by 1, and food by have 45 food and stamina 10, and perish time is 49. So be careful and don't just like go eating everything. Remember, this is not Skyrim. You don't want to eat everything to get your alchemy up. And there's another one. Now we might be able to make something, but I'm not really too sure if we can. It does not look like it. But it looks like there is possibly something over here that we can get. Here's some more buds. So let's go and make another drink. And I just reached level 3. So these over here, as long as we're kind of careful and not, you know, getting into too many enemies' way. I do believe these are vegetables. I know they don't look like vegetables, but I'll show you guys this here in just a sec. So anywhere on the plant, hello buddy, you can click on them and get the vegetables. Now for this, if we want to make this vegetable juice, we're gonna have to get 2 of them, but we can also eat these for 34 perish time, 10 health, 40 food. But I think actually as this is gonna be better for health. So let's get 2 of these, and now we can make a vegetable juice. So let's go and do that. So you guys can see a lot of things that you can make in the game, and there's a lot more to come, a whole lot more to come. So I'm going to get to this wreckage, and I will be with you guys here in just a sec. I keep saying that. Ooh, there's some grain. That's good. We'll get that after a little while because that will go bad. So see you guys in a sec. Search to the wreckage and pick up everything you can find. There should be a locker or personal container or similar inside. Alright, let's go inside here and see what we can find. Now, this one is actually a very large structure, so it may take a little bit to actually find what we are looking for. Every one of these is going to be different whenever you are playing this game, so just be aware of that, because some of them will have easy ways up, others of them will not. Okay. Let's go up this ramp here, jump up here, and boy, there's all kinds of stuff on here. There we go. There's the locker, and there should also there should also possibly be a cargo container, but not necessarily. So when we open up this locker, there's going to be a fair amount of things in here that we can take with us. So here is some sprouts that we can take, we can plant, and these things will not go bad until later on. Now, one thing to know is it says what it is, and it also has placeable. Now, what that means is you can only place these in either a capital vessel, a CV, or a base, BA. So, I don't know what BP is. I don't know allowed in BP. I have no idea what that means. Yeah, so you can only make these in the base and or the capital vessel, not in small vessels or hover vessels or anything else like that. And we will be getting into that shortly, probably in the next episode, about all the different ships and everything else like that. For right now, let's try to focus on just getting some supplies gathered and all that. Now, here's a motorcycle that we can use. We can also make one if we need to, and here's our constructor. This is the one that I was telling you guys about, that we can make, we don't need to. Consider placing the portable constructor down and have a look at it. If you and look if you can craft something useful already. First, craft a drill to be able to drill underground deposits for larger ore quantities. Note, with the portable constructor, whatever that was I said, a data pad you found in the record revealed the position of a tower-like building, which might reveal more info about your situation. Consider building a light armor suit, some better weapons like a pistol or shotgun, and the appropriate ammo before going there. Okay, so that over there is the tower that we need to go to. So that in the purple it says Alien Tower. It's very dangerous there, not at first, but it will be. So I will show you guys that. That will be in the next episode. And we found basically what we were looking for, and so I do not believe there's going to be anything else here for us to gather. And so looks like, yeah, everything else here is really not going to be useful for anything. Let's go to salvage and let's just see. A lot of these things are 250. We can come back and actually get this because this will be on our map. Another thing to know is, for a long time I saw these things, and they used to move. They used to, like, undulate and just, you know, like, just kind of go up and down and up and down. They always looked kind of scary to me. I thought they were a creature or something. It is a honey plant, which has natural sweetener. So it says press F to pick up natural sweetener. So we can actually get this and make stuff with this too. So that's one of the best things about that. So don't be scared of those. They look scary, but nothing will happen if you take it. The little creatures flying around will not hurt you at all. Let's go ahead and get back to our little place that we are at. And let me see. Let's make sure we're heading the right way. That's our thing right there. So we need to head kind of like that. Okay, now let's go and use our motorcycle. Press the number that it is on, and then look kind of closer to the ground, and you'll see it on the ground. Now, to place it, just left click, and it will drop it on the ground. Now, you need to make sure to pick it up fairly quickly once you get off of it. Once you are off of it, just shift F, and it will pick it up. So you don't need to worry about, you know, breaking it down or anything. This is not 7 Days to Die where you have to break down the equipment to be able to pick it up. This is the motorcycle. W goes forward, S goes backwards, and A and D turn. Don't bother using your mouse because it won't do any good. So I am going to head back with our little motorcycle here and go back to our escape pod. And as soon as I get back there, I will catch up with you guys, and we will go over our next plan for the next episode of what we're going to be doing. So hopefully we can get some more stuff and get some stuff going and really start motoring in this game and get to some places and do some really cool things. So see you guys here in just a sec. Okay, so I made it back to our little base and our escape pod. And so the thing to remember about this game is go and get these small wreckages that you find all over the place, like those, and then go into the other wreckage that we just went to, the one that was labeled yellow. Go to that one and pick up all the resources that you can find. We will be digging for all of these ores here in a little bit, and you can also build down by the water so you can make lots of water so you can have things to drink and keep your stamina up and things like that. These are just a rock. There is no ore in this rock, so don't go trying. You can drill into it, yeah, that's fine. All you're gonna do is get crushed stones. So there really is no point in actually using that for anything. You can build your base out of wood, out of metal. I don't believe there is stone in the game, but there could be. So as far as, like, you know, resources, there is concrete blocks, but I don't know if we can actually make a base out of it per se. So let's look at our constructor, and let's go and put that down, and I'll show you guys a few things with it. So I'm going to put that on number 4. Now this thing has an axis. This game has an axis of X, Y, and Z, and so you just use your insert, delete, home, and page up and page down to be able to turn things how you want to. Page up, page down. Home will turn this thing around, and end will do the same thing, and then insert will turn it one way, delete insert will turn it the next way, and then it'll turn the next way, and then it'll keep on turning it different ways, and delete will do the same thing. So as long as it doesn't have the line through it, or even if it does, that means that that is the direction that it is facing. So for it to go this way, that's that way. And for it to go this way is that line. And for it to go this way up and down is that line. So you can tell which way everything needs to go. Okay, now we can pick this up if we go somewhere, so that way we don't have to keep making another one or whatever. So let's go and press F. Now in here, we can make wood planks, and this is also a good storage place because this is all the storage that we have, and our pod can also be a good storage place too. As we are looking at all of this stuff, let's go ahead and go over a few things real quickly. In the next video, we will level up, and I'll show you guys some of that here. So here's a bunch of food that we can make. Now, in order to make any of this stuff, you have to put it in here, and then it will make it down here, and then it will come up to here when it is made, and then you can just put it up there. So we can kill animals to get food, or we can just also grow our own food. That way we don't have to keep on, doing these, but we will be attacked from time to time, just so you guys know. If the constructor is not working, make sure that it is in the on position. So this is food, this is medicine, so there's all kinds of different medicines, and the large constructor may have more. There is a very large constructor, but you have to put that in a base. This is the weapons and items. So as we open up stuff, which will be in the next episode, we will be able to make all of these things as we open stuff up. And here are building blocks that we can make. There are concrete blocks in here, like this right here, for base. But as far as like walls and stuff, I'm not sure how that works. So here's a hover vessel starter piece that you need, and growing plot to make our garden and stuff like that. So here are a bunch of different components that we need for everything, and these are just a very small amount of stuff that we can make. This constructor isn't made for everything. The large constructor is. And devices, so this is just some of the devices that we can make, and the large constructor will have even more. So this is for the base, this core, central processing unit required on every structure. When destroyed, structure is not controllable, which means you won't be able to do anything with it. You can't turn the power on or off. You can't do really anything with it. So you can destroy it, but that's about it. And we may have to destroy a core eventually when we find another piece. That being said, there is a lot of stuff to do in the game. It's going to be a long series, so just be, hanging in there with me. And decoration blocks, which you can get online at the store. And now there are bases that we can do. We can build bases, capital vessels, small vessels, and hover vessels. And we can go online to find all kinds of different things. Now, all of these things are all called templates. Just so you guys are aware, all these are templates. So if it says to look at the template to see what you need, just come into your constructor or even on your personal constructor here, and you'll see templates, and then you can make whatever it is that you want to make. So we'll be going over the tech trees and the factions. I don't know much about the factions, but we'll be going over a lot of this stuff here shortly in the next episode, and discovering what a lot of this stuff is and what it does and how to make everything. And we can sleep in the night in here if we want to, and then we can go out resource gathering and just find a whole bunch of stuff. And we need to go to the alien tower, but first we need some good weapons, and we'll be going over that in the next episode as we level up. So this is the Fudge 3004. This is Empyrion, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you for joining me here. Thank you for watching. And this is going to be quite a long series, so you guys are able to see what all is going on in this game. This game is very similar, like I said, to a lot of other games that I mentioned that are space-ish type games where you can go out, and we'll eventually get out into space and go over to another planet or whatever and get stuff there. Looks like the planet rotates, so because I don't see any other planets that we did see earlier. So We are going to be checking this out, and I hope you guys have a good day, and thank you for joining me here, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.